All right, man. Torture Talk. You know what it is, man. So today's episode, I want to talk about this academics and Mano situation, man. And boy, I got a lot to say about this, man. Let's get it. All right, man. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe to the page. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about Kendrick Lamar doing over 80 to 100 songs. And yes, they came out and said this. I seen the article in Variety. And I said, you know what? Let me talk about this because I believe this is pretty big. I got a couple of episodes. The Wi-Fi was down, so I couldn't drop no episodes. But you're going to see about 3 or 4 episodes dropping. You know what I mean? Simultaneously. So, and on Torch Talk After Hours, I got a couple episodes over there too, as well. So, thank y'all for joining me, man. I appreciate y'all. So, let's get to it, man. Let's go. All right, man. So, look, man, we're gonna get right to the video. I'll spare y'all the second intro here because I'm always doing 2 intros. Anyway, January 1st, make sure y'all here for that live award ceremony. And next week, Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a live for the 50 the greatest female R&B artists of all time. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies put one in the chat. Fellas, y'all know the fun of one's at. Just don't harass them. I'm King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. And all that good stuff, man. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all, man, coming to see my lovely face. You know what it is? You know, I got cut by a razor. You know what I'm saying? Right here. Just trying to dry shave. I hate shaving with stuff like that. So, too personal, right? Too personal. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. All right. This comes courtesy of The Ville. Shout out to The Ville, man. You already know what it is. So let's get it.
With GNX, it looks like the producers involved with the album have spoke with Variety. Looks like they were able to speak to the producers that worked on the album, ask them a few questions. We have Soundwave, Jack Antonoff, and Mustard. Perspectives from 3 of the producers that worked on the album. They give us a good insight about the album. And right on time before Kendrick Lamar's tour kicks back up. So let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what they said in regards to GNX, because from what I'm hearing, GNX has existed longer than we thought. It says here that Jack Antonoff, Mustard, and Soundwave reflect on the years-long production process for Kendrick Lamar's GNX. We developed our own thing. The trio has been collectively named Variety Hitmakers Producers of the Year. The musicians speak on how they approached crafting the massive hit records on Lamar's 6th album. In November 2020,
Yeah, you know the crazy thing that I come to understand about Kendrick Lamar, and he's very meticulous on how he selects songs, beats, different producers. I think that's so dope that they can add people in there. It's crazy how a lot of people. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Keep your eye on Jack Antonoff, man. Keep your eye on him. A producer like that who can jump into hip hop and jump into other genres. You got to keep your eye on him, man. I'm telling you, keep your eye on him. He did his thing on GNX, man. And the same thing with Mike Dean, man. Mike Dean is a legend, though. I can't even hold y'all. He's a legend. But you gotta keep your eye on these different producers that people don't really talk about because they don't really be out here saying a lot. Keep your eye on them, man.
Before Kendrick Lamar's 6th album, GNX arrived as big records often do these days, with little warning other than a teaser video that dropped less than an hour before the surprise release. But for those under the rapper's cone of silence, for the past 3 years, GNX was a culmination of hard work and collaboration that met the moment head on. Lamar, fresh from arguably the most profile beef in hip-hop history, the one with Drake that reached a fever pitch last year, delivered an album that invoked the sounds of West Coast rap music while re-entering the national spotlight on his native Compton. The reaction was nothing short of rapturous. He has secured 9 Grammy nominations for 2026, including Album of the Year and Song and Record of the Year, and performed at the Super Bowl last February, taking a victory lap on the biggest stage in the world. And that is crazy.
You know the crazy part is, too, I know we always saying that Kendrick is taking a victory lap, and I agree. I agree to that. I agree to that. I definitely think that Kendrick Lamar is taking a victory lap, but I think it's more than a victory lap now at this point. I think we need to just cement him to be where he's at. It's more than just a victory lap. Much more than that. I want to say this too about the Ville. I like how the Ville got his. It looks like he's sitting in like a neo gothic type of city. It's so crazy. I like it. I like how he did that. The background is some type of city looking type, but it's pretty dope how he did it, man. Dude, man, DeVille, you be doing your thing, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I like what you do, bro.
They just said that they've been working on this album for 3 years, which is crazy because of all the lyrics that have been used, all the lyrics that have been said. It's hard to tell what has been out for a long time and what was just made, because I think timestamps on the records that we're listening to matter, especially because of how well most of the lyrics from GNX have aged. From the things that I've heard in this album, it's almost like if he made this album recently. My initial perspective was that he made GNX after the beef. Lamar, of course, couldn't have done it without his musical hive mind, primarily Soundwave, Jack Antonoff, and Mustard, who are collectively being honored as Variety Hitmakers, Producers of the Year. Each has had stellar runs as titans in different corners of music. Soundwave has been Lamar's most consistent production collaborator since 2009 and contributed to records from Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Antonoff only recently came into Kendrick Lamar's orbit, but has become Pop's go-to collaborator on albums from Sabrina Carpenter, Lana Del Rey. Mustard brought the sound of contemporary LA hip-hop to records like Lamar's Not Like Us and TV Off after years of architecting the style and artists like YG and Ty Dolla $ign. So Mustard, as we know, is the person that had the real big West Coast influence in his sound. And of course, we have Soundwave, been around since the very...
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy how he brought those people together like that. And different type of sounds. Like, understand, producers are producers. Usually, I'm a producer. And producers are really particular about who they work with. One of my closest friends, he's a producer and he's a rapper. He don't want to work with nobody. He has this thing where he feels like he wants to produce for himself and maybe people he know, but he don't want to work with nobody on none of his stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually pretty good. He's a pretty good artist. I just think that he dragged his feet too much. You know what I'm saying? You're going to miss your spot. Sometimes you got to go. You got to put it out. And that's what I've been saying to him for a long time. You just got to put it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop wasting time. Stop thinking everything got to be perfection. Put it out. And I think what Kendrick did here was he put together a coalition of producers that I think most people wouldn't have never even guessed would work together. I would have never guessed that Soundwave and DJ Mustard would work together. And then Jack Antonoff too, I wouldn't have guessed that. Nah, I wouldn't have never guessed that. If somebody said who made this album, I wouldn't have guessed them three. Ain't not even Mustard. I wouldn't even guess Mustard. Nope.
Beginning has done songs for all of TDE, Kendrick Lamar, Black Hippie, one of the OG producers from TDE. Soundwave always knows what he's doing, and his sound has always been universal to me. As far as Jack goes, bro, as far as I know, 616 in LA is probably the best song that he's created during the time of the battle and throughout everything else that he's helped Kendrick with. I think he's also helped him with Luther, if I'm not mistaken. But I like 616 in LA better. That's just me. I like the rap songs more. Together, they helped craft one of the most singular and impactful rap albums in years. Work on GNX began almost immediately after the release of Lamar's 2022 album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. With the rapper collaborating closely with Soundwave and Antonoff, a pair who first connected around 2015 for Bleacher's sophomore album, Gone Now. We have such a specific language between us, me and Soundwave, says Antonoff, and then we developed our own thing, the three of us. You have it or you don't with people. When you have it, it's really magical. When you don't, you go home. Now, I think what's interesting about this is because in the other paragraph, it said that Soundwave had did something with Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Antonoff works close with Taylor Swift, so I could see them being producers that work with the same artists and getting connected that way, and then building.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man. That's pretty dope. It's pretty dope to see people work together like this. It is, man. I know we got a lot. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be straight with y'all. I know we get a lot of racial tension going on in this country, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know we got a lot of that, but just to see people working together and breaking the barriers past that. Now I know that's probably a little bit, but for some people that's pretty big, and for me this is pretty big. Because they always saying that we can't do this, we can't do that, this and that. Oh, it's just business. I don't care about none of that, bro. I don't care about none of that. I think that we can all work together in some type of capacity. And this is proof of it. You know what I'm saying? This is proof of it right here. And now you might think it's something minute, but something minute does matter. If you want to say it's minute, okay. But it still matters though. no matter which way you color it. So I think Jack working with them and they working with Kendrick, yeah, man, this is pretty epic. And if he did Luther, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on. And I agree. I agree with DeVille. 616 in LA might be my favorite song out of all of them. I think I listened to Euphoria the most, but sound quality wise, yeah, I wish he had put 616 in. I wish he could have put that out. Oh my God, bro. I still hear it in my head right now. It's survival. Yeah. Yeah, that joint is crazy, man.
A relationship and where they're able to make beats together or probably work together, network, and then later on comes Kendrick Lamar. It kind of makes you think, when Taylor Swift was mentioned in this beef, was it because they knew the inside connection that they had with one of her producers? I mean, this guy is working with Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter. His beats are probably heard all over the radio, all over the Billboard, the Top 100. Well, who knows? I'm just guessing here. I know Taylor Swift was brought up for multiple reasons, but could this be one of them? Y'all could tell me in the comments. The trio spent years toiling on what Soundwave estimates was somewhere between 80 and 100 songs, later pared down to the dozen that made GNX. They would snag batches of time in the studio and created their own weird little secret society, recalls Antonov, not in pursuit of a specific sound, but seeing where the process took them. The beginning of it was throwing paint on the wall, says Soundwave, and it started to form this massive funky West groove that we love because Kendrick and I are from Compton. And in that, I started to realize the people who we should bring in to push it even further, like the Mustards, the Jacks. I was very fortunate to have these friends who are very talented to push it to the next level. 80 to 100 songs. Kendrick was cooking 80 to 100 songs since 2022.
Yeah, that's nuts. 80 to 100 is crazy. That's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I remember it was an interview with Lloyd Banks, and Lloyd Banks said he did 80 songs in a month. He said he constantly had to drop songs or make songs because he was trying to come with the album. They're trying to come up with a hit. So he constantly made songs over and over again. And I agree. I believe it. I believe that Kendrick Lamar probably can make more than that. But sometimes when you're dealing with somebody like Kendrick, it's not about just the flow. It's not about just the raps. It's not about, your brain has to process all of this and exude all of this power. You understand your brain is a muscle. You got to let it relax. You got to let it, you know what I'm saying? You can't just overdo it. Some people, they're just rapping words. I believe Kendrick Lamar tries to give people an experience. And in order for you to do that, you can't just drop several songs. Like, it has to be, even if you don't like the song, he's trying to give you an experience. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it is when it comes down to Kendrick working with these people. I think all three of these people are from different backgrounds, and they're giving you an experience when you listen to GNX. That's why it's so dope to me.
To these guys there to back him up by his side, creative geniuses, top of the best, top prime. You know what I mean? Like prime time, basically. You got the best producers that you could look for in pop, in rap, in West Coast sound. And you got together and they made GNX. A secret little world, bro. They wanted to make sure that nobody knew this album existed. And they were successful in doing that because, like I said, nobody knew about this album until it actually dropped. And it dropped instantaneously and spontaneously, bro. Pretty crazy. And finally narrowing it down to the 12 tracks that we see on GNX. I wonder, what are the dates and times of all of these records? And what songs were made in 2022? And Kendrick was immediately done with Mr. Morale. Was he already making songs like this? But to think about it, this album comes out 2 whole years later. It's crazy how they kept it a secret for that long. Amid the swaths of ideas that Mustard would text Lamar directly were 2 instrumentals combined to make TV Off, which went viral on the back of Lamar screaming Mustard's name in the beat switch. Mustard recalls creating the first half of the song in the same month that he produced Not Like Us, and he worked on the second part as an idea for his own album. As with Not Like Us, he heard the completed TV Off for the first time along with the rest of the world. I never asked Jack or Wave who put those 2 beats together, or Kendrick. He says, Soundwave says it's Lamar's idea. I care, but I don't care. I was just like, that was great. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Not like...
That's fire, bro. See, me as a producer, I probably would have felt some type of way. But that's fire. And if it came out that way, I would have felt some type of way, but I would have been like, why y'all ain't tell me? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I would have. Maybe I wouldn't have. If I were working with Kendrick, it'd be something different. But that's fire, man. That's fire. The way the mustard, like he's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Damn, bro.
Us was created the same time that TV Off was created. He made the beat for 2 of those songs in the same month while working on half of the song for his own album. Half of the beat for TV Off was for him personally. So the date and time for this one is definitely around the birth of Not Like Us, which would be in 2024. What other songs came around that time or what came before that? I think it's interesting too how Mustard didn't even know that they were going to use the beat. It feels like these changes were spontaneous, instant, maybe even on the fly if Mustard didn't know, especially if they were taking his own beat too. That's pretty crazy. It shows that this album kept changing and moving. The parts were moving till the day that it dropped. The GNX magic happened in the studios where Lamar, Antonoff, and Soundwave collaborated, particularly for Luther, one of the biggest hits of 2025. The record is built around a sample of Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn in 1982's rendition of If This World Were Mine, a song that Lamar and Soundwave had wanted to flip since 2017's Damn. Luther came together as something of a groupthink exercise. Producer Rosilia sent a pack of beats, mined for a kick and snare. Soundwave chopped up the sample, M-Tech replayed chords on the piano, Ink came up with the melodies for SZA's part. It was a spiritual experience at Soundwave because of how everybody just fell in. Everything we added was just like the perfect missing piece to that record. They've been wanting to make Luther since the Damn album. They've been wanting to flip that record since 2017, bro, almost a decade ago.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, y'all think that's crazy? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy how ideas come together. I'm gonna tell you like this. It's been back in the day when you do music. If you're a music head on this page, you know what I'm talking about. You did something back in the day, and you wanted to do it, but I mean you didn't do it, but you wanted to do it, and now you have a chance to do it because you're better at it. Because I'm telling y'all now, that's why you see a lot of these video game. I know it's kind of unrelated, but it's kind of related. You see a lot of these video game companies remaking games because they're better now. It's the same thing with making music. I think if I was to make an album right now, it'd be 10 times better than I did when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Because I know exactly how to make music. I know what I'm trying to hear. I know what I'm looking for. Before I was just experimenting, which is cool too. But when you good at something, then you actually can write better when you're good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Antonoff, for his part, densely laid in bits of guitar and mellotron to build out the world of Luther. If you really listen to the record, obviously Kendrick and SZA are right there and the beat's right there and the melody, he says, but there's a lot of stuff dancing around like in between them. I wanted to go overboard with the presentation of how special it could be. I ended up sitting alone for a really long time, carving out all of these little spaces. The meticulous nature of GNX only intensified as the record sped toward completion. Antonoff recalls working on final mixes as late as 4 a.m, just hours before the album's release. Its impact was instantly tangible. Luther held court atop the Billboard Hot 100 for 13 weeks straight, while Not Like Us picked up Grammys for Song and Record of the Year. But for producers who helped bring GNX to life, it signified that taking risks sonically and creatively was the only path forward. Again, another statement that proves that they were working on this album to the very last minute. It basically shows you there's no boundary, says Soundwave. We hate to just keep doing the same thing over and over. It's something we kind of thrive off of. Just reinventing yourself, do stuff that makes it exciting. And the people who supported you will be excited with you. I kid you not, yesterday there was a 60-year-old woman driving in the street rapping a GNX song word for word. Just to see that my home is still playing it as if it just came out, that's special. And yes, it very is special indeed, especially because this album is headed to the Grammys and it might win a Grammy. Without a doubt, I think and I believe that Soundwave is already a Grammy winner. Antonoff, most likely. We'll see how this goes. Mustard, we'll see how this goes. There's been a lot of Grammy talk, and I wouldn't doubt for a second that Kendrick Lamar, GNX will win a Grammy, at least for Luther, if not the album, maybe for TV Off also, which all have interesting stories. I think those were the most detailed stories in regards to the tracks that they had talked about. But these gentlemen right here have really been working close with Kendrick Lamar, have really been trying to make a mark with this album. I think they really did well, and it shows, the effort shows, the amount of times that this has stayed on the Billboard shows. And it's crazy to think that they were working on this album immediately after Mr. Morale. Now,
I also seen something where I might do a separate video on this, where it said they didn't know if Mr. Morale was ever going to come out. I seen something about that too. And maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, man. Yeah. Hey man, I'm sorry I left you. Left you crying. You know what I'm saying? Since you been gone. You know how that song goes. I've been all alone. I can't sing worth. Yeah, goddamn, man. I wish I could sing. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could sing. I really do wish I could sing. Not more as much as I wish I could fly. Wish I could fly. I was saying that would be crazy. Fly right up out of here. See you later. Gotta watch out for the planes though. You fly right into a propeller, it's over for you. Or engine or something. Hopefully you don't do that. Anyway, so look. I think that Kendrick Lamar and working with them is pretty decent. I've seen that Baby Keem is back outside. I'm gonna talk about that too. And yeah, man, sorry for the delay of these videos, but the Wi-Fi was down. But you're gonna see some videos. I got a video about Mano and academics, and I got a video, a bunch of other videos is coming. Yeah, so be on the lookout. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all, man. I am out of here. You already know what it is. See y'all. Peace. Bye.